Well, hello and welcome to Women of Color, Money and Legacy, where I talk money matters. I share strategies to empower us to become financially literate in terms of managing our money wisely, making important financial decisions, building generational wealth, and creating a lasting legacy. It's a journey of learning and growing together. Today, I want to equip you as women with the knowledge you need to confidently walk into a dealership or an auto store and purchase a car. Statistics show that women are buying more cars than men. In fact, 65% of new cars are purchased by women. And it has been reported that men get a very different treatment than women at car dealerships. Black and brown people in particular have to deal with being stereotyped, price markups, and higher interest rates. In fact, in 2002, Nissan Motors settled a class action lawsuit for charging black and Hispanic car buyers higher interest rate. So it can be very stressful and costly experience if you're not properly equipped. Now, later in the video, I'm going to share a really bad car experience that I had encountered and what I learned, including what I could have done better. Now, I've been independent since I left home at the age of 18 to go to college. And with each of my experiences buying or leasing a car, I've gone into the dealership alone. That's not always the best practice, and I'll share a little more about that. I'll start by talking about how we are often viewed by the dealer and how to schematically prepare ourselves for the process in order to avoid getting ripped off. Now, unfortunately, there are some common unspoken code that you need to know about salespeople. I call them dealers when it comes to women shoppers, minority women in particular. Number one, they assume you can be taken advantage of. Two, their behavior is often patronizing or condescending. Three, they don't take you seriously. Four, the assumption is that you don't know anything about cars. And five, consequently, they try to make as much money off of you as possible. So understand this common unspoken code before you walk through the door or onto the car lot. Preparing in advance can minimize the stress and make the process go more smoothly and negotiate the best deal. And I want to share you a step-by-step buying guide. And I'm calling it the do's and don'ts of buying a new or used car. And I'm going to start with the do's because these are the things that you need to do and know in advance. And there are 10 do's and 10 don'ts. So for time's sake, I'm going to run through these rather quickly. Now you can go back and watch the video again. And here's the list of do's. Number one, do your research. Buying a car is a process, not an event. Start doing your research as early as possible so that you have ample time to cover all of your bases. Your research should cover things such as consumer reports, which will help you to learn what types of vehicle are more reliable and which are not. Know your current car's value, trade-in value. Know your credit score. And you can check your credit score using Credit Karma. It's free. And you might need a cosigner. Do price comparisons online. You want to gather as much information as possible so that you're not at a disadvantage when you walk through that door. Number two, know how much car you can afford. Remember, we've been talking about living below your means, smart budgeting. Figure out just how you're going to fit this car into your payment plan, how you're going to budget if you're going to finance it. Just because you can drive off that lot with a $50,000 car doesn't mean that you can afford a $50,000 car. You also want to factor in insurance costs. Number three, know the type of vehicle you want. Narrow down your choice to one or two models. Consider your needs and your wants. If you're the outdoor type, you might need a four-wheel drive. If you're a parent with kids, you might need a van. Maybe you just want a small car that's fuel efficient, or perhaps you're set on getting an electric vehicle. Find the options that fit your parameters. Number four, shop around. You want the best deal that you can get, so shop around before making a final decision. Take your time and get 3 quotes. Test drive different vehicles. Decide on the options that you must have and the ones that you can live without. Don't fall into that trap of letting the salesperson talk you into adding all these extras that you don't need. Decide if the dealership personnel is inviting enough to deserve you doing business there. And also consider buying online. Do your research first, of course. Number 5, look into pre-qualifying for car loans. Many people will get their financing from the car dealership, but this might not be the smartest move. Dealership interest rates tend to be higher than banks and credit unions. Now, pre-qualifying doesn't guarantee that you'll get approved, but it will give you a better idea of what your likelihood of being approved and the estimated interest rate. You can also use sites like LendingTree to get up to 5 competing quotes at one time. Number 6, walk in with a plan. When you're ready to make the purchase, you need to come with a plan. You're not just strolling in talking about, I'm just looking. No, you have done your research. You know what you want. You've got your price comparison. You know how much you're willing to pay, how much you can put down on that vehicle. And if you don't have a plan, there is a good chance that you will walk out of that door with a hole in your budget. So make sure you come with a plan. Number 7, bring emotional support. Bring along a friend or a family member who has your best interests at heart. They can keep you on task should you get distracted from your plan. Another form of support is to ask someone in your circle if they can recommend a reputable salesperson. And if you're buying a used car, bring a mechanic along with you for the test drive. Number 8, walk in with confidence. Understand that you are the one in control, not the dealer. They need you more than you need them. You have options. There are tens of thousands of dealerships out there. If you're not treated with the respect you deserve, then just let them kick rocks. They are not worthy of your business. Number 9, ask questions. Leave no stone unturned. Make sure any concerns you have are addressed to your satisfaction. Questions about warranty, repairs, options, delivery, pickup, finance. Make sure all of your concerns are addressed. Number 10, negotiate the offer. Negotiating can be stressful, but the potential savings is well worth it. And you want to avoid taking the first offer you get. You've gotten 3 quotes, as I mentioned, so you've got some bargaining chips here. Ask for the best drive-away price. Once you feel confident that you've reached a fair price, then go ahead and make the deal. Now, let's move on and talk about the don'ts of buying a new car or a used car. And here's the list of don'ts. Number 1, don't be vulnerable. Don't share too much information too soon, and please don't act ignorant. Don't say things like, I'm paying cash. I have a trade-in outside. I'm a heart surgeon over at Emory University. My credit is not good. I don't know very much about cars. I need a monthly payment of around $400. And please don't get really excited like, oh, I just gotta have this car. I love this car. No, you're playing into the dealer's hand. Number 2, don't negotiate on the monthly payment. Negotiate on the price. The biggest mistake you can make in negotiating is focusing on the monthly payments. Dealerships can do all kinds of finagling if you only focus on the monthly payment. They can adjust the purchase price. They can adjust the terms of finances from, say, 4 years to 7 years. They can adjust your trade-in allowance in order to get the monthly payment you're looking for. Always negotiate on the price. Number 3, don't feel pressured to buy here and now. Dealers will often use pressure tactics like, this offer is only good for today. Don't fall into that trap. Take your time. The car market is very competitive. There's no reason to feel rushed into any type of limited time offer. You'll be able to find something just as good or even better the next day or even next week. Number 4, don't let the dealer check your credit too soon. Only allow the dealer to check your credit when you're sure that you're ready to buy that car. Running a credit report generates a hard inquiry on your credit report, and hard inquiries will lower your credit score by as much as 10 points over the next year. So don't fill out a credit application until you're sure you're ready to buy. Number 5, don't make an emotional decision. Try to remove your emotions from the process. Do your research and stick to your plan. If you know you're impulsive and easily sidetracked, definitely bring along a friend or family member. Keep a cool head. The more you love the car, the more reserved you need to be. Number 6, don't get trapped with add-ons. The price of that car can skyrocket when purchasing add-ons, so keep the add-ons to a minimum. If you really don't need heated seats or built-in navigation or rear cameras, rust-proofing maintenance plan, please don't get them. Number 7, don't include your trade-in while negotiating. You want to negotiate your trade-in separately after you've agreed upon the price. Now, the dealer will try to offer you half of what it's worth, so you need to know the value beforehand. So don't negotiate on the trade-in with the price of the car. Negotiate on the price first, then negotiate on the trade-in. Number 8, don't be afraid to play dealers against each other. They won't admit it, but dealers are very competitive. That's why you get 3 quotes, so that you can show them a better offer for the same model. Throw it out there and see what happens. They will play. Number 9, don't mention up front that you're paying cash. Paying cash may hinder your chances of getting the best deal. The dealer anticipates making money on the back end through financing. They might not be as negotiable on the purchase price if they already know that they're not going to make any money off of you from financing. And number 10, don't be afraid to walk away. If you feel pressured or you can't come to terms on a fair price, then just walk away. Go to another dealership, and if you walk away, chances are the dealer will come up with a better offer. Now let me share an experience I once had buying a car. It was 1994. I needed a new car because I had been in an accident that totaled my car. Now it wasn't a serious accident, but the insurance company totaled it out. You know how they do. Now what I'm sharing with you today, I did not know back then. I was just as green as a Granny Smith apple. My salesperson was pleasant enough. I just remember him being a spitting image of Arsenio Hall. Now we reached an agreement on the term length, the monthly payment amount, so I thought. And back then, they couldn't go online and check your credit report on the spot. If you came in on the weekend, they would have to wait until the following Monday and contact the credit bureaus to check your credit. Now, my salesman drew up the paperwork and said, okay, Ms. McClain, go ahead and take the car home. Come back on Monday or Tuesday and we'll finish up the paperwork. I said, okay, great. So I drove the car home. I came back in 2 or 3 days ready to sign the paperwork, only to learn that this joker had done some switcheroos on me. He said, and I'm paraphrasing now because I don't remember, Ms. McClain, I talked to the finance manager and he just couldn't work that deal out. This is what we came up with. Everything had changed. He even recommended a different car. I felt as though I had been hoodwinked. I was livid. I grabbed my purse and I stormed out of that place fuming. And it was in the evening, so it was getting dark outside. And there was a mall a couple of blocks up the street where I was headed to go to a payphone and call my sister to come and pick me up. I had to walk up this incline about 200 feet to get to the sidewalk. That's when I heard my salesman come running up behind me. Miss McClain, come back here. Come back here, Miss McClain. We can work it out. We can work it out. And I went back and I ended up signing the original deal that he had just told me that I couldn't get. It was one of the most stressful ordeals I had ever experienced. Now, I've only had this type of experience once, but I never let my guard down again when walking into a dealership to buy a car. Now, if this same thing happened to me today, I would not even be fazed by it because I'm not naive at their tactics now. I would simply have said, no, thank you. Here's the keys. I'll go over there and walked out the door. Now, there you have it. So the next time you're in the market to buy a car, you'll be equipped to walk into that dealership with confidence and walk away feeling confident that you negotiated the best deal. Next week, I'm going to share with you some valuable information on how to increase your credit score from poor to excellent. So you'll want to join me for that. Well, that's going to wrap up all that I have to share with you today. Thank you for staying until the end. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to receive an alert each time I upload a new video. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.